Alright guys, I'm going to show you a little bit again, a quick review of adding, subtracting decimals. Here's our first example. Be sure to pause the video so that we can copy down the notes. So our first example is if we have 6/10 subtract from 42 hundredths. Now it's set up horizontally, so we're going to set it up vertically. So we're going to go ahead and stack them up. We get 6/10. Remember, add a 0 behind it. And we're going to subtract it from 42 hundredths. And remember, the most important thing, like the song, line up your decimals. So my decimals is lined up. I have 4 in the tenths and the 2 in the hundredths. And then I can go ahead and I can finally subtract. And if you want, you can fill in zeros here, but it's no big deal. So then now you subtract 0 minus 2. Well, you can't do that, so you have to borrow from the 6. That 6 turns into a 5. Circle the 5, don't forget it. That 0 then turns into a 10. Now you have 10 minus 2, 9, 8. So we got 8. 5 minus 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we just drop down our decimal, and you see how my decimals are in a straight line? That's the most important thing, and a 0 there. So here's my difference, 18 hundredths. Now if you're going to check your work, you would just do the opposite of subtraction. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So then you go ahead and add your numbers. We're going to get our difference, 18 hundredths, and we're going to add it to 42 hundredths. So then we can go ahead and add them. And again, make sure that your decimals are lined up. So I'm just going to put my decimal point there, and I'm going to add up my numbers. 8, 9, 10. Carry the 1. I circle it. 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then I have a 0 here. Now my sum that I got here, if it matches my answer right here on the top, then that means I did it correct. So that's the first example. Let's try another one. And again, be sure you pause the video to write down your notes. The second example is we're going to have the whole number 7 subtract from 1 and 55 hundredths. Now this one shouldn't be tricky, but it kind of is. You see the 7 does not have a decimal. That's no big deal. All you got to do is you add the decimal behind it like this. So you have 7 whole dollars, decimal, 0, 0. This $7 means exactly the same as this 7, just only there's a decimal there, which is no big deal. Okay, so just always remember that. Now let's get the other number, minus 1 and 55 hundredths. Okay, then we can subtract 0 minus 5. We can't do that. We got to borrow from our neighbor. Uh-oh, we can't borrow from here. That's a 0. So then we borrow from the 7. That 7 turns into a 6. I circle the 6. I give it to this 0. This 0 becomes a 10, but I have to give it to the other 0. So that 10 turns into a 9, and this 0 turns into a 10. Now I can subtract 10 minus 5, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. 9 minus 5 over here. Let's see, choose a different color. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. My decimals are in a line, so I drop my decimal there. Line up your decimals. 6 minus 1, 5. So there's my answer, 5 and 45 hundredths. Now again, we check our work real quick. So let me check my work. The opposite of subtraction was addition, so let me go ahead and add. I'm going to get my difference, 5 and 45 hundredths, plus 1 and 55 hundredths. Again, use the graph paper and make sure that your place values are in order, your decimal points are in line, and any empty spaces you fill in with zeros. So we're going to go ahead and add 5 plus 5. We know that's 10. Carry the 1. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 0. Carry the 1. Circle it. 5 plus 1 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. There's my answer, 7. If this 7 matches the top, yes it does. We did it correct. Again, always make sure that your decimal points are lined up and you fill in any empty spaces with zeros. Our last example. Here we go. We have 92 and 78 hundredths. Subtract 3 and 7 tenths. Let's fill in this one. Now again, it's important to use the graph paper because it keeps your numbers in order. So let me get 92 and 78 hundredths. Subtract. Now, you see how this one there's a 1 and a tenths, but it does not have a hundredths and it does not have a tenths place like the other number? That's no big deal. This is where the graph paper can help you. So put your decimal point here. Do you have a number in the tenths? Yeah, you do. It's the 7, so the 7 goes here. Do you have a number in the ones? Yeah, there's a 3. That 3 goes in the ones place. Now, all you got to do is those empty gaps that we're talking about, you fill them in with zeros. And there you go. Easy as that. Let me go ahead and fix my little line there. Easy as that. Now you can go ahead and do what you do best. Subtract 8 minus 0. 8. 7 minus 7. 0. There's my decimal point. 2 minus 3. We can't do that. He needs help. Borrow from the 9. That 9 becomes an 8. So this 2 becomes a 12. 12 minus 3. 11. 10. 9. So I drop my 9 there. Now 8 minus 0. 8. So there's my answer. 89 and 8 hundredths. Now it's time to check our work. Be sure that we did this correct. Now again, the opposite of subtraction is addition. Exactly. So then we're going to get our difference. 89 and 8 hundredths plus our number here. 3. So I have a 3 in the ones place. 3 and 7 tenths. Now again, fill in your empty spaces with zeros. And let's see if we did this correct. 8 plus 0 is 8. 0 plus 7, 7. 9, 10, 11, 12. 8 plus 1, that's 9. So there's my answer. To check my work, 92 and 78 hundredths. Does it match here? Yes, it does. So I did my subtraction correctly. This is my real answer. And that's all there is to it. Thank you. Quick reminder before I go. Be sure that you answer the questions that come up next. Show your work and always check your work to make sure you have the correct answer. Thanks.